Good afternoon, everyone. Biomed's class of 2023. My name is Valerie, and for those of you who have not met me yet, I am your advisor for the first year here at RPI. And then here we have the faculty advisors who will graduate onward and upward to at the end of the spring semester. So what we'll be doing today, I'm going to briefly review a bit about the student-faculty advising model, kind of our relationship with students, and then we'll get into the good part here, which is getting to hear from the 5 different biomed faculty for the class of 2023. So we'll hear from them, and at the end we'll have some time for questions. You'll actually get to meet your faculty here. If you haven't already, we have snacks and drinks in the back of the room, so feel free to take. So here we are, the hub, and this is the Ansel Lounge. This is where we work out of as your academic advisors. So again, we're here with you for the first and second semester during your time here at RPI. So we're here to kind of get you started with advising, choosing your major. Obviously you're all here, so you've either chosen biomed or you're considering it. If you're interested in things like pursuing a minor, you'll come to our office, we'll help you with that as well. We help with curriculum planning, 4-year planning, the templates that we take a look at so you can really understand what to expect for your whole time here with academics. We also help with some preliminary arch planning for academics and then kind of talking about your semester away. And then what we're really here to do as well is refer you to other resources here on campus. So my whole thing is, if I don't know the answer to something, I will get you to someone who does. So we really help to facilitate that. And then the faculty advisors here. So again, you'll graduate onto them at the end of your semester. You'll start working with them for fall 2020. So they basically will help you get kind of situated in the department, helping to relate your academic 4-year plan to your greater goals as a biomedical engineer. They're here for things like mentoring regarding career and graduate school, making sure that you complete your degree and all your requirements for the degree, and then some general advice for things such as undergraduate research, different co-curricular activities such as studying abroad, internship and co-ops. Then also, whereas we get you started with arts, they kind of continue you on through those processes. So that's basically, advising both staff and faculty in a nutshell, but now we will hear from our 5 advisors up here. So let's go ahead and get started. First up, we have Ji Wang. So what we'll have you do, if you don't mind, is just kind of talk a bit about yourself. You have a couple of advisees within the crowd here, each of you does. So everyone should have received an email before this program noting who your faculty advisor is. If you didn't receive that, get back to me and then I'll share their contact information. So
you give me 3 or 5 minutes? How long?
Absolutely.
So my first name is Ji, and I always help my students remember my name, General Electric Global Research Center down the way, not very far from here. I saw some students in my undergraduate bioimaging, bioinstrumentation class, so I'm teaching medical imaging. And this is my field, my career. I like it very much. With medical imaging, you can see through your body what's wrong, and a lot of high-tech magic. And to understand my background a little bit further, I have a LinkedIn. So you just search my name and the LinkedIn generic URL. Then GE, my first name, WNG, my last name, my lab name, Axis. That means AI-based AI, artificial intelligence, AI-based X-ray imaging system. So I make the synchro name easy to remember. And if you have LinkedIn, so just try to connect it to me. And I very much look forward to working with you to help you grow professionally.
Thank you. Next, we have Eric Ledette.
Good afternoon. My name is Eric Ledette. I'm a professor in the Department of Biomedical Engineering. I have been at RPI for 16 years. This is my 16th year. my animation went away. So does anybody know what that thing is with the star on the upper left-hand side? Anybody ever seen that before? How many people are from New York? How many people are from Massachusetts? How many people from Vermont, New Hampshire? If you're from New Jersey, don't raise your hand, I don't want to know. Sorry. Okay, how about the thing on the upper right, the blue things? Anybody know what that is? What is that? Nobody can tell me? So if you're from New York, raise your hand again. And you don't know what that thing is? That is the state flag of New York. Thank you. What is the thing on the left of it? That happens to be the state flag of Arizona. That is where I'm from. I grew up in Arizona. Came out to upstate New York because I heard the weather was so much nicer here than southern Arizona. I started my career at Albany Medical College, which is the regional trauma center and medical school that's about 8 miles up the road here. I worked in orthopedic surgery and ran the research program in orthopedic surgery there for 9 years. So my expertise, my research is in orthopedic surgery. And I came to RPI 16 years ago. This is my 16th year. So I teach classes related to orthopedic surgery. I teach a class that I enjoy. It's fun, clinical orthopedics and contemporary research. It's a class where we focus on the musculoskeletal system and orthopedic surgery. We get orthopedic surgeons to come in the classroom, and then we join live from a special classroom on campus here to either the Bone and Joint Center or Albany Med and watch surgery and interact with the surgeons while they're operating. It's a fun class to teach and a unique experience. I also teach our capstone design course, which is the culminating event of your education here. As a senior, you guys will have design, and the idea is that you take everything that you've learned up to that point and you apply it to a real-world problem. The challenges, so students form teams, and the challenges that you guys will be given are not ones that we as faculty members conceive of, but we go out into the community, mostly clinicians, and we request challenges or problems or ideas that they have, and we have you guys work on them and come up with hopefully real solutions to those problems. So I teach that course and coordinate that along with Hassan Mohammed, Dr. Mohammed, who you guys will meet in a few minutes. And then I also coordinate with Dr. Mohammed our product development course, which kind of leads into the capstone design course. If you're a pre-med student, you may have already come by and visited me. I also am one of our 2 advisors for all the pre-med students in the School of Engineering. So if you have questions about pre-med, feel free to stop by my office hours and talk to me about that as well. My research is not surprising from what I just told you, is in orthopedic surgery, and a lot of the work that I do is in what we call smart implants. And so this is where we take implants that normally have a therapeutic function, and we add diagnostic capabilities to them. So what generally we're doing is we're taking and putting sensor technology onto implants, putting them inside the body, and then measuring things from inside the body that help give an idea of what's going on there. The focus largely being biomechanics, which is my background. And a lot of the work that we're doing now is looking at spine, what happens for people who have low back or neck pain and are being treated, and also in orthopedic trauma, shown on the far right there. Someone has an injury, needs to have surgery to put a bone back together or something like that. All right, so my office is up in the JEC on the 7th floor, a couple doors down from the department. Stop by. Office hours this semester are Fridays. When are my office hours? Friday, 11:30 to 1:30. All right, thank you.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ahmed Abu Ahmed. For those who struggle pronouncing the throat letter ha, which is non-existent in the English language, you can pronounce it in the anglicized form of Ahmed Abu Ahmed, which most people say. Anyway, so I did my undergraduate training through my graduate training in biomedical engineering. I'm originally from New Jersey. That's why Dr. Ledette and I don't see eye to eye on many things. So I'm from New Jersey. I did my undergraduate training at NJIT in Biomedical Engineering, and then I came here, did my graduate training under Dr. Leo Wan, who some people may be advised by in cartilage tissue engineering. I studied osteoarthritis with focus on joint lubricants for reducing friction in the articular joint. For those who know a thing or two about osteoarthritis. I stayed on after my doctorate degree to be a lecturer in the department, and I teach some core engineering as well as some biomedical engineering courses. You may see me teach IEA, IED, the statistics class, modeling and analysis of uncertainty, and I'm teaching biomechanics as well. I look forward to seeing some of you guys in the classroom. And more importantly, I want to stress that there's not a large age gap between myself and you. Having graduated with my PhD in 2018, and so I'm very close in terms of understanding the struggles that a lot of the students have in maturing as researchers, as independent thinkers, as people looking to enter the real world, so I can empathize with those struggles and, without babying you, help you grow and mature into the young adults who will be competent professionals in the real world. My office is JC 7020. My office hours this semester are Wednesdays 10 to 12. Or by appointment. So come give me a visit, and I look forward to working with you. You know, why don't you take this one, because this is the only time the camera moved.
That's the one it follows.
Yeah.
Should I leave it there?
No,
I
you
just
hold it.
shouldn't wave
Once
around.
we're sitting down again, I'll hold it.
Okay. So I'm Liz Flavour. I only just started here. I started here July last year. And before that, I worked at NASA Ames Research Center in California. So I did, was there for about 10 years, did postdoc training there, and then started my own lab. I am really interested in how gravity affects basically stem cell based tissue regeneration. So the little stem cell niches we have around our body, how gravity can really affect the way that they are able to regenerate damaged tissues. So a lot of our research is using spaceflight as a model of aging and looking at age-based tissue degeneration. So that's kind of my background. My education I did in Australia, so I am Australian. And I did it at University of New South Wales. My PhD was in molecular genetics and biochemistry. So what a lot of my research does is really focus from the single cell sequencing level all the way to sort of the tissue level, looking at biomechanics of joints and structures. I think that's pretty much what I was going to say. I'm not teaching this semester, but will be teaching next semester. And my office is in CBIS 3135. You can pretty much stop by my office whenever, because I'm not teaching at the moment. But if I'm holding official office hours on Thursdays, and you can always contact me by email if you need to. Okay.
No, so let's see.
You take the control.
Take the control, okay. Hi, my name is Hassan Mohammed. I am here at the 7th floor. My office is here. I cannot tell you what my office hours are because I don't remember them. Otherwise, I have to go outside the door and look at them every time somebody asks me. And I teach, in addition to the capstone and to the product development, I also teach introduction to imaging and instrumentation, bioimaging and bioinstrumentation. So most probably you will see me in a year and a half or a year from now. And I also teach the biomedical fluid mechanics, which is senior class. And that's where my background is. So what I used to do before coming to RPI, I only now teach. But before that, I used to do research in something called microfluidics and MEMS, micro-electromechanical systems. Anybody heard the word before, micro-electromechanical systems? You know how many MEMS are in this room? You know how many MEMS devices are in this room? Anybody knows? So if you have a smart cell phone, you might have between 25 and 30 MEMS devices on this. Between the projector, this device, we might have, each of them might have 30 or 40 of them. If you're driving a car, you have 50 or 60 of them. If you have a printer, you have MEMS device. They're everywhere around you, but you don't know them. These are the ones that deploys your airbag. These are the ones that are for security of your car. These are the ones that sensors, that stops the car, parks the car. All of these are MEMS devices. They're tiny devices, smaller than your hair. You cannot see them. So I can say I did a whole day of work. Here it is. You cannot tell. but it's a fun thing, and we have between the fluid dynamics class here, and we have a clean room also where you can do a lot of fun stuff here. So I wish you the best. It's a very good degree to be a biomedical engineer. I tell my students you always will get the chance to play with very expensive toys and do very cool things when you get out of here. So enjoy it, learn, don't care about the grade. Try to learn, please. Grade is important, but try to learn, that's more important. So when you get out of here, you get a good job and you'll enjoy it. It's a very good life after this. So, thank you. Which one?
Now we
How
go.
do you take that again, if you could, in the middle?
That's the one.
That's the one. That's the one.
Oh, that's, I'm going to get the ruler.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
So we got to have a bit of an overview that the faculty members who are here. So I mentioned, the second part of the program would be more of a Q&A, and then at the very end, you can actually go up to your faculty members if you don't mind, and answer questions that way. But something I wanted to ask before we do that is faculty members. Do you have any questions for these biomeds here in the room as a group? Anything you're curious about, and then we'll kind of ask that in reverse and have the students ask you something as a group and then break up.
What year were you guys born?
That's almost this year.
I didn't appreciate your comment about you being so young, because what's the implication?
No age here, we don't discuss age.
So if I, just to, one thing I want to say, so when you guys, so I think lines of communication are open. You should feel welcome to come to office hours. You should feel welcome to send emails. But I would suggest that you guys start to get into the practice of, being professional with the way that you interact, especially with the faculty. So sending an email where the first, where the salutation is, hey, comma, and then a message, don't do that with the faculty. That sends a message in and of itself as to where you are and what you're thinking. So you can address us as doctor or professor or whatever, and I think that coming in, meeting us for the first time, shaking hands, bringing your resume with you, having something to talk about, I think that can make a big difference in the way that you interact and the way that you present yourself. And that stuff does matter. It matters when you're looking for advice, when you're sitting down to have an important discussion, and in the future when you're looking for opportunities and want some help with stuff, which is really what we're here to do. So I would encourage you guys, I think all faculty, we wouldn't be professors if we weren't open to having interactions with students. But I think you guys can kind of set the tone on that, and I would encourage you guys to sort of try to take a professional position with that. Just a general comment.
So email is very important. You can easily find our email addresses like LinkedIn. You can send me messages in LinkedIn, but I prefer email. And I have a habit whenever professors, colleagues, family members, students send me email, I reply same day. So that's a good way to reach me if you have questions. And I would strongly encourage you do your own homework, trying to be independent. So some information on website, in menu, so you do your part, then ask advice. That will be very efficient and also a good way for mutual benefit.
So I have a question about the homework that you actually did. Why did some of you guys choose biomedical engineering? What appealed to you about this major?
Nothing. Can I ask a question first? So how many people, after they get done with their bachelor's degree, think that they want to go to graduate school, get a master's or a PhD? This is non-binding. I'm not going to hold you to it. Trying to get an idea. Right? Put your hand up so I can see.
Okay, it's really majority is interested in higher level education. That's a good sign. So let me ask a further question. Among those of you who want to pursue an advanced degree, I assume PhD degree, how many of you, just curious, want to be professor like us? So those, no one. Let me tell you, I believe faculty job is one of the very best job in the world. So think about that.
So how many people are interested right after they get done with their bachelor's degree and going to work in industry? Put that up with confidence. Yeah, there you go. Okay, good. All right, and how many people, I don't want to know the answer to this question, how many people are pre-med? Okay, no, I'm joking. Pre-med, there's nothing wrong with pre-med. I think a lot of our best students end up being pre-med. If you guys have spent some time looking at the curriculum, you know that it's challenging. You know that it's a lot of work. It's hard to make exceptions and do things that are a little bit different from what's on the piece of paper. Mariah Hahn, who's not here today, Professor Mariah Hahn, and I are the two pre-med advisors. So you guys should feel free and early and often come and see us if you have questions. It's hard to get back on track if you get off track from the pre-med curriculum. It's once you're on it, it's not too bad to stay on it, but it's hard to get back on if you get off. Mike Hanna, who is Professor Hanna, is a professor in biology, and he is director of the Learning Center of ALAC. He heads the Pre-Health Professions Committee. So Dr. Mariah Hahn and I advise all the pre-med students at School of Engineering. He does the entire rest of the institute pre-med students, and he's the one who ultimately will be your champion in getting into medical school. So everyone see Dr. Hanna, come and see Dr. Mariah Hahn or me if you guys have questions about pre-med. All right.
So among student, pre-med student, so would any of you characters tell me what you want to be? You want to be physician or dentist or just the surgeon? So do you have any specific idea, neuroscience? So what's the general directions you are pursuing?
Pediatrician.
Okay, very good. How about you?
Surgeon.
Surgeon, okay. Any of you want to be radiologist or physician? Okay.
How many of you were drawn to this field because of a close relationship you have with sports? Okay, anybody want to comment on that? Go ahead.
I think, okay, I'm an athlete, so I feel like it'd be kind of cool to, like, I always watch, like, the Paralympics, and I feel like that'd be cool to, like, design some kind of, like technology that can help them, you know, like their limbs work in the way that, like, mine do right now.
Okay, and which sports do you play?
I play ice hockey.
Nice. Okay, there we go.
Came to the right place.
Yeah. Anybody else from the athletic crowd?
How many varsity athletes do we have?
Okay. So we guess 2 hockey players here, right? Okay. Cool. Well, we got a few in the back too.
So let me ask another question. How many of you are international students? Means not US, just international.
Canada doesn't count. Just a guess. Question for us?
Yeah. Do you guys have questions for our group up here?
What would you guys say is, like, the most challenging year as a biomedical engineer, like, major, in terms of, like, just, like, not course load, but, like, just, like, the difficulty and, like, the rigor of, like, the, like, certain classes that we have to take, like, on our 4-year plan?
I think we may have different answers, but in my opinion, first year is most important. The first year you have major change from high school system to college education, and you learn calculus, those regular things quite different. You have larger flexibility and all new plans. So that's just my opinion. My colleagues may have different views.
I think you guys have all survived your first semester already, so that's a big challenge, as Dr. Wang was saying, just as far as getting acclimated to a new environment. What I found with students coming to me is that somewhere around the second semester of the sophomore year, it's sort of like, okay, I'm getting really tired of doing all the basic courses and the prereqs and all the fundamentals, and I'm really ready to get to some biomedical engineering. And so the way that the traditional, our standard curriculum is that you get your first exposure to the biomedical engineering classes in that second semester of the sophomore year. So I would encourage you guys, as you're getting into your final, math classes and the basic science classes, to hang in there, perform as well as you can, and what I would call the more interesting stuff, the more relevant stuff to biomedical engineering is coming. And then I think junior and senior year, you have a lot more flexibility in the courses that you're taking. That is going to change, by the way, for you guys. You're going to actually have a lot more flexibility and opportunities. You'll learn more about that probably towards the end of this semester, about some changes coming to the curriculum, all of which I think are good and give you guys more flexibility and options to specialize if you want. And then I'm very biased because I think the senior year is a lot of fun because of the capstone design and the product development course. A lot of students really get involved and engaged in that and enjoy it. So you guys, depending on when your arch experience is, again, that can kind of make the sequence getting into the sophomore year a little bit tedious, but I encourage you guys to hang in there and the good stuff is coming.
I just want to take a moment to appreciate the heterogeneity of the student population, both in terms of where you came from. Some may have come from very rigorous high school programs, and some may have been the cream of the crop in their high school, but maybe the academic rigor in that high school may not compare to some other high schools. And then also the heterogeneity of your personalities and what your strengths and weaknesses are. And so to answer that question, it's going to be a little bit of what was already said. I've seen students that come in here and they coast through the first couple semesters because of how solid a foundation they have early on. And then they think that same level of effort is what's going to be needed in the higher level courses, and then they don't make that adjustment. And then I've seen students who really have strong intentions and they want to do well, but unfortunately maybe they didn't have as strong of a foundation in their high school curriculum, and they might struggle early on, but you know what? They do better than some of those other students who came in with a strong foundation in their second or third year because they get used to the hard work. And then there's other students who are really used to being dedicated in the books and understanding things, but our college experience is not solely about that. It's about interacting and then rolling up the sleeves and becoming more social, and working in teams is what some folks struggle with. But I just want to say that that's okay. And we want to leave the university understanding how to solve problems in books, but understanding how to solve problems with people. And so it's important for us to ask deep questions about who we want to be when we leave, have the end in mind, and that helps to talk to the advisors that you have, and then to address those weaknesses with grace and diligent work along the way. And so the answer is really diverse, and it's personal to you. But take some data and learn some from some other people's experiences, and really do what you can to leave here as a competent individual ready to address society. And you guys are all along the way, obviously.
Other questions?
Can I add one thing? It's not just the classes that you have to struggle with. You have to struggle with many things. There are a couple of changes along the way. Change of culture from coming from high school to college. Change of culture when you finish your basic classes and you go to engineering class. So instead of becoming a student, now you're preparing to be an engineer, which is a different thing. And then by the fourth year, when you're getting out of here, we'll try to convince you that you are a professional, you're not a student anymore. So for the last semester or two, you'll be a professional ready to go out and work for a company. They might seem easy, they might seem, they're not. So you have to be aware of that. And one of the things that I would say, and that I say in my class all the time, don't get stressed. Correct? Everything, if you work on it long enough, hard enough, it will come. Just don't be stressed about things. And as Ahmed said, you came from good schools, you are used to A and B's only, correct? And then the first C or D becomes, that's the end of the world. No, it's not. And one of the things that we usually keep until the fourth year, failing is not a bad thing. Failing actually is part of the experience. We fail many times before we are successful. So if you fail something, don't think that's the end of the world. I promise you 2 years after you leave RPI, you don't remember even which class you failed, correct? So failing is okay. Go on, get up, clean yourself, and move on. Doesn't matter. It's not the end of the world. Nothing is the end of the world, correct? While you are here, that's one of the things that you have to manage also. Don't get stressed, don't get, many things seems to be very big, but at the end they are nothing. So manage that too, in addition to your classes.
Anyone more questions for our group up here in the audience before we kind of break into smaller groups? All right, so I'd like to thank the faculty very much for all, sharing the research